Hello everyone, I'm No More Nashies, otherwise known as Nashies. I am a compassionate cat lady and I run a feral/community cat colony here in Las Vegas. The following video after this intro will be how to build an air-conditioned feral cat house using as little as possible. The system that we had in my garage that was set up for the girls unfortunately broke this year, and we needed something that was more efficient. I spent some time looking around on the internet, and while there are air-conditioned feral cat shelters out there available, they tend to be very expensive, and there are not a lot of instructional videos on how to do this, and so we decided to kind of get together, put our heads together between my dad, Mr. Nashies, and myself, which I did most of the engineering on this, believe it or not. There really wasn't anything out there, so we put our heads together and we decided we're going to give this a shot. Now, first, shout out to the person who covered the cost of the feral cat shelter for us. Thank you so much. You have our eternal gratitude and the gratitude of my elderly feral cats. Well, they're not feral. These are community cats, the two that I have. I also do have a feral and another community cat, so there are 4 in total. But my 2 girls are elderly, and we really want them to live out their golden years in comfort. The way that I got into TNR was back in 2012. There was a boom in our neighborhood of kitten season, and my neighbor next door, a cat had kittens under her house. She happened to know the number of an organization that did TNR here in Las Vegas. She gave that to me, and boom, we got them trapped, and they were released back here, and they lived out their lives very happy and comfortably here. As a matter of fact, Gravy Baby, who passed away last year, he was an OG member of this feral colony, as well as Figgy, who lives out there, and Stubborn, that lives out there. They are OGs. They have been here since 2012 and 2013, and again are about 15 years old because they're slightly older than my indoor kids. And these are not cats that you can bring inside. You can't socialize them. Some of the cats over the years I have adopted out to good families. But some cats just never adapt to indoor life. If you're wondering if TNR actually works, it's not just me who does TNR in my neighborhood. There are 3 or 4 other colonies just within a couple of mile radius of me. And within the last 10 years, there have been no new kittens as a result of all of us working together to do this. So TNR does work. And I want to remind everyone, pardon me, to adopt, don't shop. There is no such thing as a good breeder out there. None. Absolutely none. Say, for instance, if you're someone that picks up, let's say, just for the sake of argument, a purebred cat off of the streets of Kuwait to adopt, which they are in abundance there. They have no TNR really in that area and no government programs. We are fortunate enough here to have several. If you are doing that and you decide you want to adopt one of those and you don't get your cat fixed and you see other cats running around and you want to have little baby kittens, that is very irresponsible. Always fix your cats. There will always be another cat out there. There are shelters that specialize in specialty animals. So you can find one at a rescue as opposed to purchasing from a breeder. What was the other thing that I wanted to bring up here with that? As far as rescuing animals, whatever your type may be, it could be a mammal, it could be a reptile, it could be fish, could be anything, whatever it is that you love. Just sharing on social media does an amazing thing. You may never see that share that you did gets the cat adopted, but trust me, and I'm going to go with cat-centric here since I'm a cat person, I'm going to talk about cats. Put in fish, put in bunny, put in, snake, put in whatever you wish to put in here, but for cats, that share does get out there. I have watched it happen where a cat didn't get a bunch of shares. I shared, the right person got a hold of it, boom, that cat gets adopted. So whatever your level of helping is, never, count yourself short as far as being able to help. Donating locally is always the best, and to organizations overseas that you've vetted if you wish to do so. Because TNR and all of this rescue, every individual bit of it helps. Never extend yourself too far. Got to take care of yourself first. I have been overburdened before, and that doesn't do any good for overpopulation or anything either if that happens. So just remember what you're doing is for the greater good. So yeah, this is using components that are fairly easy to get off of Amazon or at your local Home Depot. A lot of people know how to build shelters themselves. I don't, so we had to buy a kit, and like I said, somebody reimbursed me for that, so thank you so much. That was, I can't even tell you just how wonderful that was. The components that I used will all be in the description, and also there is going to be a playlist. We're going to call this Teepa's Squee House, and I'll explain about that in just a second. But basically, I haven't been able to do a temperature test on the house yet because it's been staying cool, despite the warm temperatures here. So I haven't been able to get it up hot enough. So in about a month and a half is when you're going to see the first update as far as how well this works and any tweaks that we've had to make to it. But tomorrow it should be in the 90s, and I should be able to show by opening up the lid, getting the inside of the house hot. And then we have one of those temperature systems, thingamabobbers, I forget what are those called? We just call it the weather station. Mm-hmm. The weather station. Okay. Mr. Nashies is down here. He's holding a fan on me because I'm hot. Yeah. We have a weather station, so I'm going to utilize the little temperature gauge and put it in there so we can see how the temperature drops to the temperature of the house. Because again, this is using my air conditioner in my home to actually cool this house. And all those components will be down there, and like I said, there will be a playlist, Teepa's Squee House. Because, I think many of you know, my boy, he passed away this year. It was unfortunately cancer, and he taught me so much about love. And the thing about him is, I want to give all the love that he gave me back into the world, and I genuinely hope, I'm going to cry, I miss him. Because I got so much love from him, I am going to try and give all of that love back to the world. And that's why I'm hoping, this is me cooling off my face because I am crying. Okay. Might as well make it a goofy video. Okay. I'm hoping that genuinely this can help people in really hot environments to cool down their cats, because I know there are a lot of compassionate cat people out there. And Teepa would certainly want me to give everything back. This is for you, buddy boy. But the best thing I think about this cat house that we're going to be doing is that you could easily flip it for winter by purchasing a fan like this, which again, this is the bigger version of the fan that we're using in the video. We actually ended up downsizing, which we had the fans already because we have electronics. But if you get a fan like this that does a reverse flow, you'll be able to suck heat from your house and actually heat the cat house as well, even though it's easier to heat a cat house than it is to cool a cat house. So I'm really hoping that this video will help a whole bunch of cat people out there, particularly who live in hot environments. Please do let me know in the comments. Like I said, if you have better ideas on how to do this, please do put it in the comments. There's no gatekeeping when it comes to taking care of animals. And I apologize for my videos, like intros like this being blumpy, because the fact of the matter is I'm not used to being in front of the camera. But I will say this is Teepa's Squee House. The following will show you how the cat house is working, which I can tell you is fantastic so far. So this one's for you, buddy boy. We love you, and I hope everyone enjoys. And thank you so much for following me along this journey. And, well, I'll see y'all later. Hello and welcome to Problem Solving with Nashies. Today we're going to be building what we hope will be an air-conditioned feral shelter here. Utilizing these components, I have the feral shelter here. It's rather large. It has one front door and an escape hatch, which will be very important. And this is a dryer venting kit that we will be using to see if we can get air conditioner from the house into the cat house so that they stay cool for this summer. And over here we have my dad's collection of flip-flops. All right, I'm going to get this unboxed and take some video of that. See you in just a few. All right, here we have our components laid out. You can see it's actually got a nice roof there. This is the actual front door, which has a walkway here, which is fantastic. It's off the ground because we do flood here in Las Vegas sometimes. And here is kind of, it's not an escape hatch, it's a window, which is where we're going to use to put the hose from the dryer system that's going to run from the house into the cat house to air condition it. So, Mr. Nashies is going to get to building this because I have messed up my shoulder twice this week. And any troubleshooting we have to do as we build this, it does require a drill, not the screwdrivers that are used in the kit. They said not to use those, to use a drill. But anytime we have to troubleshoot something, I will go ahead and film that, and I will see you should those things arise. All right, what I've done here is just take a piece of cardboard and a piece of styrofoam that came in the box with our feral shelter. You can see here, this is the hose that's going to be going in through the window there, the dryer hose. We may upgrade this later on, but hey, this is what we've got to start. What I did was just take a Sharpie and cut out a hole the size of the dryer hole here in some cardboard, some styrofoam, and we're going to cut that to size with the acrylic window and cut out a circle on the acrylic window, so we will have double insulation there to keep in the cold air. All right, I'm going to show you all how the roof works. We may or may not leave the divider in here. It does come with a divider, which is fantastic for a feral shelter, so we shall see. And there's that window where I am going to be putting the tubing through. There's my shadow. What's up, y'all? Okay, Mr. Nashi, show us how this goes down. All right, that is a nice little roof right there, and that's how you can get in there and clean it, which is fantastic. And this is an insulated cat house, so it does have insulation in between the wood. All right, so the way that we ended up doing this was taking that styrofoam and that cardboard, sizing it into our window here because that plexiglass was just too thick. We don't really need it anyway as far as insulation. So we're going to make this look better than it does here, but here's what we've got. We've got the styrofoam flush. Go ahead and open it up there for me, honey. And we're going to come on in here and you will see that it is flush against the back here. So we're just going to fancy that up a little bit and then get our tube installed. All right, so we made that look a little bit better, got it all flush in there so there's no air. We've attached the tube. You can see it fits really, really nicely. And we've just made sure it's flush there so no air is going to get out. The inside is very, very spacious, and again, it is insulated. We had these leftover tiles from doing our bathroom, so we're actually going to put them in the bottom because that ceramic stays nice and cold. And then we have the nice opening here, which we're going to figure out exactly what we are going to do as far as keeping that insulated, but I will update you with that in just a few. We are going to install it and see how the airflow works now. Oh, and you can see here, it does have the hydraulics here on the lid that makes it not slam shut or go backwards so that it'll snap off, which is fantastic. Okay, for the hose thing, the grid pattern in there is too big. I don't want any bugs to be getting in, so we just repurposed an old bath sponge and put it over on both sides of this so that we won't be getting any bugs crawling back up through, like mosquitoes or anything like that. You could certainly use that screen tape that they sell. It's very inexpensive. That would be fantastic, and it would do the same job that this does. Now we are going to go ahead and install the portion that goes into the window. Alright, my apologies for a vertical video here, but this is just to show you this is where it is installed in my window, and we got one of those fans that's designed to cool off electronics. We use them on our Xbox and on our stereos. We thought it would be perfect to put in that hole there, the vent system. Now that's what's going to push cool air from our house, utilizing our air conditioner, down into the cat house. Therefore, we're not going to get any extra costs to our air conditioning doing this. It'll just be a tiny bit for the fan, which is less money than the air conditioner that was in the garage that broke down. The other thing is because the cat house is the way it is, there's not going to be enough wind that goes into that cat house in order to push hot air back up in the house. So this is what it looks like. This is the way it worked out, and we will do a temperature test on the cat house tomorrow. I will see you all then. Again, excuse the vertical video here. It's the next day. We've been still troubleshooting a little bit. What we did with this dryer setup is we made sure to weather strip the sides of it. The tape does come with the kit. And we actually downsized from the 120 millimeter fan down to an 80 millimeter fan because it fits directly into the output hole there. And then we insulated around it, and now we're getting a solid stream of pretty fast rushing air down into the cat house. That worked out much better. We took off the mesh netting on this side and did a double bit of mesh netting on the outside to make sure that we're not going to get any mosquitoes or anything. But there's no backflow of hot air. There's no hot air coming in around the windows here or anything like that, which is fantastic. All right, and here's where you can see the inside of the shelter here. I was not able to do a temperature test today, which I had planned on doing because the temperature here just did not get all that hot. So stay tuned either tomorrow or in a couple of days for the temperature test of the difference between inside versus the outside temperature, because it should be getting hot here again. But there's good airflow coming in. We put the ceramic tiles in the bottom there, as you can see, which keep it nice and cold. So one of the things here that we want to make sure to do is during the summer, we're going to insulate that. So that's something that we're going to change, is insulate this duct work that's going here. This is going to flip sideways. I'm sorry, but it's the easiest way for me to show you this here. We did the mesh netting there and like that. And so we're going to insulate that. And then we did make sure that our chubby kitty fits in and out the door. You can see here we entice them with some treats. There's the walkway up. And you can see that the door there is just that plastic. We're actually going to take another one from our other shelter, which is a winter shelter. We're going to cut it like that, and we're just going to attach it to the inside, pardon me, right here. Hopefully, let's see if that's... Yeah, we're going to attach it right here since it's Velcro with some command strips, so we have some double insulation there for the summertime. Let me take the lid down here. And the lid on this is fantastic. So this is it, and it's also raised up because unfortunately we do get flooding here in Las Vegas, so, but you can see that the cats fit in there. I can tell you that when we came out this morning, it was hotter in the morning than in the afternoon because we did have some clouds roll in and it got kind of cool, but it was up in the 90s for a brief period of time, and it was much, much cooler in the house, and we didn't have any air running in it at that time. So I can tell you that the insulation on this product is pretty darn good. So that's what we've got so far. And I am going to say here, as far as the shelter goes, if anybody has any ideas or upgrades to make this better, please do chime in the comments, because there is no gatekeeping when it comes to taking care of cats. And stay tuned again in about a month and a half when our over 100 up into the 115 temperatures start coming in. And I will link it in the description of this video as well. I am going to do an update on how cool this keeps it and any other modifications that we're going to do to this shelter. But so far, so good. I want to thank everyone so much for joining me for this edition of Problem Solving with Nashies. And again, to the patron that covered the cost of this feral shelter, thank you so much. All of the materials that we used will be included in the description of this video. I hope everyone is doing well, and I will see you in the next edition of Something Nashies Does.